What's up? alexy1 here, and we're playing Godzilla from Japan. I don't know if he's really from Japan, but it's funny though. And we've played something new here. I don't mind trading this bishop. I don't love it either, but I'd like to get this F4 pawn rolling. And I'm playing this this opening because I want to get some new positions. It's just fun to get new stuff that isn't chewed out, isn't known for like 20 moves or so. I don't really like this h3 move by me, because my dark squares here are pretty weak. Yeah, knight g5, knight h5 going to g3 is already pretty annoying. So there are two options here, knight e2 or bishop g5 h4, and I think I like this one better than the other one, because now we can go g4 still, where we aren't tied to castling short by any means. The downside of this move is that normally this knight might be good on a4, because then we can develop our bishop to e3, which is where this bishop should go. But yeah, I'm not really sure how to get the bishop there. One way is to play bishop d2 and queen c1 and bishop e3, but yeah, I was afraid of a move like this. But so if I go g4, e4 maybe, and it becomes a total mess. I think I should go bishop g5 and queen d2 next, I guess. Depending on what he's gonna play, but I think queen d5 is the way to go here for him. Queen d6. Potato, potato. So if g4, e4 still. Yeah, I think queen d2 is fine. I should take now. Then I should take there. Now I can castle, and this should be okay. Or maybe still somewhat. Oh, wow! I just blundered a full pawn, which I hadn't even. Jeez. Okay. So it's even more than a pawn. It's two pawns. Well, it's one. Maybe I should have taken on f8. Now we can go b4. Yeah, this is somewhat, maybe even holdable, I guess. Because of the opposite colored bishops. My pawns are definitely much weaker than his, but knight e6. And now something like knight a2 or knight a4. So we're gonna go knight c5 next if we can. Yeah, and
draw?
Yeah. This should be draw. If I were black, I'd play on here, obviously, but yeah. So it's probably a bad game, but we'll have a look anyways. So this knight c3. Knight f6 is the only critical response here for black. Knight c6 though is still playable, but it's somewhat weird because white has a lot of options here of going f4, reverting back to a knight f3. This one is less flexible than knight f6, so black usually goes for knight f6. And we could play f4 and get the Vienna. But yeah, there's also, well, you can go knight f3 and then you just get into a normal e4 e5 type position, or you can go to the Spanish 4 knights or just the Scotch, or even the Budapest. Is this Budapest? No, this isn't. Is it? I keep forgetting. I think it is. Oh wait, no. This is the Budapest. Sorry. This is the Budapest. This is also a way to go, which is fun, but yeah, it's not really good. When I was younger, I read once, all you need to know against the Budapest is that you can play knight b4 and you're okay. It's not 100% the case, but yeah, this knight b4 is easily equalizing. Anyways, I went for bishop c4. And it's actually a fun move. So the critical line here is knight takes e4. If we take d5 is obviously good, but we can go queen h5, bishop b3 here, and it's pretty interesting because this knight is somewhat awkward. Knight c6, and now there are some options. Well, actually, there are not so much options. So d3 is somewhat of the only move here. Knight f3 fails to knight takes e4 now, and queen h5 isn't possible anymore. So d3 is somewhat of the only move. Knight a5, yeah, that's okay. There's also something to be said of just playing knight ge2 here, because this pawn structure isn't as bad as it seems. It controls the key square in this structure, which is d5. The downside of the structure is that the e4 pawn can become weak, as well as the c4 pawn, but yeah. Having this square under control is a major plus, so it is possible to go knight ge2. This c6 is pretty good normally. The idea is just to go at d5. Yeah, maybe taking is a bit too much. We can just keep the pressure on with knight f3. And maybe even choose to go f5 in the future. Well, very far in the future maybe. I don't know. He should probably take now. Yeah, knight f3 is probably much better. Because, well, this position I've developed, in regards to the game, I've developed more here. This pawn is weaker than the e5 pawn is in the game. And this bishop isn't really going to c5 yet. So this is much better, I guess. Yeah, I can't really take here because of queen d4. Threatening the bishop, the knight, and also mate on f2. So h3. If I didn't do this, knight g4 is coming, I guess. Well, we can still go h3 here. So maybe queen e2 is much better. Yeah, like I said, this is probably not such a good game, but at least it could be instrumental somehow for this structure. Bishop e3 is coming next, and that should be fine for me. This is also a learning process for me in this position. Yeah, g4 is maybe possible, because if knight g3, rook h2 and rook g2 next, we should go h5. Try not to lose this knight, because if we go to rook g2 here, he can take. And this is pretty scary. I can't really take back because of rook h1. And this should be okay for both sides, I guess. h3 is weak, but his king has no safe squares, and we can go bishop e3 next, or bishop d2. And I don't know. It's a fun position. Didn't really look at this g4 though. Yeah, now we took. So g4, e4, I guess, is the main idea. The engine says castle, which is pretty sick. if this works. And now e4, because my king is in the center, and yeah, I've got a feeling g4 shouldn't be good. It's like a computer move here. Yeah, I don't like it. I somehow like this move. Queen b6 is a nice way for him to go, because if we go queen d2, he can check on f2, and also queen d2 isn't really doing anything. h6, and we're in some trouble after h6. Because if bishop h4, bishop e3 is annoying, as well as castling and just plumping on the f file. I don't know. Queen b6 is the best move here for sure. Take, 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 take. Yeah, now there are some problems. c2 is just hanging. I have to do something about that though. I went knight c3, which is just embarrassingly bad. c3 is, I guess, better, but yeah. This is just a bad position. I was lucky to hold this. He shouldn't take, he should just take on b3. It's much better. Because I can't take back and bishop takes e3. Well, I can, but now we're just down 2 pawns. And this gives me some drawing chances. If he takes here now, we're gonna take on f8. King takes and just rook takes a7, and this is somewhat better for him than the game, but not much, because my pawn on b4 is actually pretty good in the game. This b4 is a pretty nice move, because there's not really an easy way for him to move up his pawns. Can't really play b6, because that's weak. Therefore he can't really play a5 or c5, so this holds back this pawn chain, which is nice. Even though this is still really good for black. This knight a4 might be a good move, I'm not sure. He can't take on b4 because of bishop c5 check. But yeah, b5 might be a very good move. If knight c5, well, knight c5, knight takes b4, bishop c3. Then a5 takes. Yeah, this should be a win, but it's still hard because this knight here is pretty good. And how's black gonna improve? Maybe just by moving his king to my other pawns. I don't know. Yeah, it should still win. Yeah, it should still win. So b5 here. The engine comes up with king f2 here, but yeah, I doubt that this is something. But yeah, knight c5, and he just took, and I'm actually quite happy here. Oh yeah, bishop d4 just wins a pawn back immediately. So he has to move his bishop. And then king e6 maybe. Bishop d4, g6, g3. And this is probably holding, but yeah, like I said, I definitely play on here. There are some ways for me to go wrong. Like if I go back to f2, if he goes to f3, just bishop e5, and he's only got one weakness to go on. So yeah, this should probably go to d5, and to f8 maybe, or I can just stand here. I can go to f8 as well. It's hard for him to improve because b6, well, I can just pass. c5 takes, and it's still nothing. Then my bishop goes here, and he's never gonna improve. So yeah, this is just a draw. And he saw that as well. And he offered a draw here, which is fine. I'll gladly take it. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Please let me know if you want me to play something, because I really want to. If you guys got any major idea or something, let me know. Hit me up. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.